Capricorn. Okay, this is sort of reiterating what I was saying in the general reading. A little bit of things can be back and forth in this relationship. And I do think that this person is coming with a bit of indecision or possibly closed off to romance and love, and you may see them sort of put up their swords a little bit. So there's definitely going to be walls that are going to be put up from this person. It is sitting in the middle of the 5 cards, the 2 of swords, so I'm sort of drawn to it straight away. But look, it sort of coincides with what I mentioned about the 5 of swords. And I feel like the 5 of swords energies was that little bit frazzled, not really knowing whether they're coming and going. So I feel like this person is going to go into things blindly, which straight away indicates to me that they're possibly a bit risk-taking when it comes to love or relationships. So they may like to do that. I think it could be that's just how they're natured. Again, I don't know if it's anything to do with mind. Or like I said, I mean, if they're healing from something when this relationship starts, you'll definitely see that. And the relationship might be slower to take off. I do think that they want to possibly be friends first before you come into this love relationship. I think that might be important to them. Yes, the 3 of Cups can be seen as the friendship card. It can be seen as a card of creating a solid foundation of friendship, of company, of trust, of endearment before they move on to a relationship here. So that might be something that they're wanting, or you might see them sort of steer the connection in this direction first, and then you might be wondering, oh, were they friend zoning me? Is this what's happening here? I think it's possibly their way of protecting themselves because they've got the moon here. So the reason for the fork in the road is the moon. The moon is anxiety, the moon is Cancer, the moon is needing to protect oneself, at least in an emotional aspect. So we must read it in this way, Capricorn. I mean, that's just how I'm interpreting it as well. But I think things could happen very organically and very naturally. I think this person is quite traditional and maybe likes things happening in order. They don't want to jump the gun. I don't feel like they're too spontaneous when it comes to relationships. I think they do want something quite conventional, okay, that happens or unfolds like so. But it's all about taking steps in the right direction. This card can also be about communication, and I don't think this is an area where the 2 of you could potentially struggle. I think even if they are frazzled and somewhat disoriented or confused, they'll communicate this to you. I don't think they'll shy away from being honest, so I do feel they can be quite an honest or trustworthy partner. I think that's important to them. I don't know if they've dealt with some sort of complications in those areas in the past, in some of their relationships, and it's taught them to be this way, or it's just in their nature. But I do feel like there's an element of trust around this person. I do. I mean, let's not ignore the fact that you have the 10 of Cups, the card of happily ever after around this relationship here. And there's a picture of a couple and they're beautifully embracing one another. They've got children here. So this could be someone who's wanting a family or wanting to include you as part of their family. So straight away, they're going to see you as someone serious. But again, those precautions, I think, are set up here to take things a little bit slower. But this can be what can potentially come of this, Capricorn. And it doesn't look too bad at all. You've got the rainbow out. This is pure bliss. This is happiness. They're quite an affectionate and loving partner, I think. They're definitely quite attentive to your needs. And they like to celebrate beautiful moments together. So I definitely feel this person will revel in creating memories with you. They'll absolutely love this. So I think Yeah, I do. I mean, also the Queen of Wands is here, and this is Leo energy. And to have Leo energy around this relationship, I mean, in some ways it can be very exciting. It can be a highly sexual connection. I feel like affection is coming back in again. This person will be very protective over you. Okay, notice the protective sphere, the moon. That motive here indicates that this person is very protective or even possessive about the ones they love. So there might even be a little bit of jealousy that plays out here, Capricorn. There could definitely be that sort of energy around them. And again, it could be in their nature. But the fact is, she sits open-legged. So this straight away says to me that this person wouldn't be very narrow-minded. I think they would be open-minded to things. So maybe before, where they were closed off, if they're going from that Two of Swords to the Queen of Wands, Capricorn, I'm inclined to think you're going to have some sort of positive influence, and it's almost like you're going to make them come around more. And this straight away says to me they're going to be more trusting of you. Why? Because the black cat can symbolize superstition. So I think there's an element of paranoia around this person. And it could be around trust issues, it could be around relationships, it could be around affection, but there could be something they're a little bit dubious or superstitious or unsure about, okay, a bit of hesitancy. But it's interesting that the Queen of Wands ends up opening up. So I feel like no matter what they first come across as, or the first impression that you have of them, Capricorn, as time proceeds and you take those steps in the right direction, this is not going at a fast, overwhelming pace. This is taking things very naturally. As you unfold and you bypass all these beautiful steps, Capricorn, you can really see those changes in this person. But for some of you, there's potential for marriage, for moving in together, having children, or blending families, or really becoming assimilated into their family, their social circle, their world. And, this is huge. I feel like in terms of family or their friends, I think you'd get along with them quite well. I'm seeing, the rainbow is here, so there's enjoyment. I think you might connect with their world very well, and vice versa, Capricorn. They could be really welcomed into yours. They could be very much embraced into your world by your friends and your family, and of course those that matter most to you. So, this is really beautiful, but I think they are wanting something serious, or they're very capable of offering you that. Might be that layer of protection, but I think underneath that, they are very capable of offering you that. But I'm wondering what this loss is around them that they have to deal with, because the rainbow only comes out after the storm. So what I want to say is, Capricorn, some of you are entering this relationship in the eye of the storm for this person, emotionally speaking. Now, some of you, actually that storm is residing with you. You might still be healing from something. You might be still getting over something. And maybe the reason why this person will exhibit this behavior is because of what they're seeing from you. It's because of your reaction, your response, your pacing, your initiation. So it's not always about them, although this reading is directed more about this person and what they could offer you. There might be a bit of back and forth here, and possibly even mixed messages. The Two of Swords is duality, and stopping and starting comes to mind. I'm not seeing endings and separation, so I don't think it's sort of a relationship that's going to stop and start and be initiated and everything's all great, and then you end up breaking up and you come back together and things of that nature. So I wouldn't say, I'm not inclined to believe it's that. I think it's more that there might be some confusion from this person. So they could exhibit a little bit of mixed signals in some respect here, Capricorn, and you might come to see that here. Whether it's not involving an ex or an ex relationship or heartbreak or something else that they've lost or sort of being burdened by emotionally, you might see this. But I think you'll have a very good friendship with this person. I think the foundation for the relationship is friendship, and that's straight away very powerful because it indicates a lot of care, a lot of endearment, holding each other in high regard, a lot of respect, and it's a very good foundation to build this connection on. So work with that. Work with what you've got here if you're that invested in this person, because the results can be magnificent here, Capricorn. Very beautiful indeed. I will leave the reading at that though, so thank you again for tuning in.